into another November 2024 read. Virgo and Libra is completed. We're going to roll the astro dice, see who we're reading for. We're going to go through Wisdom of the Oracle, Energy Oracle deck. I also have Tarot out here. We're going to find out what's in the energy, and we're going to go through the actual placements of the transits that are changing in November and what's to come. We'll pull a crystal at the end. Let me pull that deck so I don't forget. And we'll go from there. All right. Let's see who we're reading for. Sun, Moon, Rising, Gemini with the energy of Pluto here. All right, something's coming to an end. Something's transforming overall. All right, Pluto is in Capricorn. So, interesting. I'm sorry, I was just picking up a message there. All right, so Sun, Moon, Rising, Gemini. Let's see what's going on here. Pluto's coming in to do a big one this month in November. Last time it's going to be in Capricorn. All right, let's see. Something pertaining to your intuition. You've got deep knowing out here with higher consciousness. Speaks about listening to the oracle from within. Tapping into your empathic abilities and having the ability to read between the lines. So Gemini, you are the sign of communication, right? So this has to do with your like subconscious communication. Something about your intuition, a deep knowing. All right, you've got freedom from a burden out here. Clean it up. Something about sweeping away what's no longer needed and get into the core of a situation. And then you've got round and round, revisiting something from a different perspective this time around. Down at the bottom of the deck is to the sea. All right, so being in flow and returning to source, recognizing how everything kind of fits together and how the natural pattern of events happen. Sea energy deck for you. Woman holding a heart. Healer of the ages. You got man holding the heart, and the third chakra came out with it. Something about your 7th house energy, Gemini, which would be Sagittarius's energy. Interesting. I'm going to leave it the way it came out. All right. I don't know if this is part of your burden, because you got healer of the ages here. It's kind of showing me like the Queen of Cups with the King of Cups type of energy. All right. The third chakra is associated to all fire signs, although this does speak a lot about your willpower, your vitality, your self-esteem, your confidence. All right. And more so like the emotions of your desires and the life force around you. That's what it speaks about. All right. Let's see what's going on in tarot for you. So being that you're an air sign, you've got a lot going on pertaining to your emotional state, your intuitive state, seeing things in a different perspective. All right. And something that has been more so burdening you, having the power to take that heart space and healing and overcoming a specific situation in your life. Down at the bottom of the deck here, you've got patience. So I'm feeling temperance for you. All right. And something about seeing how all the events come together with to the sea. Okay. Temperance. You've got Hermit. You got the Six of Cups. A lot of inner healing happening here. There's the Queen of Cups. Lovers. So I'm kind of getting like the woman and the man holding the heart. You got Ten of Swords and Ten of Wands. There's something that you really need to clean up pertaining to something that is burdening you. All right. That energy doesn't look like it's serving you well. Okay. You have a lot of mutable energy out here. Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, all in majors. It's almost as if there's a situation in the past that you could have been nostalgic about, that you've been trying to gain your energy back up with, trying to look at things in a different perspective, but trying to balance out your emotional state overall. It could have been that somebody burdened you. Someone may have sabotaged you in a way. I don't know. But it's coming through as you trying to remain strong in a way, but doing it through inner healing. It's like elevating yourself spiritually or something, but doing it from within. I don't see you like needing anybody surrounding you, nothing like that. It's all through the energy of like, through the heart space. Ace of Swords. I feel like once you speak your truth about something that has been really hurting you overall, it could have been that someone was gossiping about you. Could have been that there's some specific energy that wants you to like lose your shit mentally. I feel like you're detaching from the BS is what it is. Because you got Ace of Wands out here. Once again, you're getting back your energy. You know what I mean? The light force around you is like asking you to do the inner healing work emotionally so that you can come through with more passion with something. Allowing yourself to remain more grounded in a specific situation. It's basically so that you can come and clean up whatever you went through. That's all it's given. All right? You need groundedness overall. You jump from the Four of Pentacles to the Nine. That's a big jump. I like that. All right? So whatever it is that you're passionate about, all right, you're going to understand why you had to go through what you went through so that you can overcome this issue here. But again, I'm seeing lots of mutable energy for you in majors. You could have had someone around you supporting you. This could have been more so a spirit guide. You got Archangel Chamuel here. Giving you the energy of strength and power and vitality, you know what I mean? And the courage to keep pushing forward with something. Because I'm telling you, this looks heavy. Mentally, physically. All right. We're going to leave the Ace of Wands on the bottom. I like this energy. All right, I need to like push this out the way for a second. Let me get your chart pulled up here, Gemini. And then we will look into these transits. That's interesting for you, Gemini. I've been picking up recently a lot of energy coming through pertaining to the body parts that you rule. All right. So anything pertaining to like the hands, the lungs could be of significance. All right. You do have the Ace of Swords out here and the Ace of Wands. So again, be passionate about whatever it is that you want to communicate with. All right. Getting creative could be of significance with how to express yourself. But that's what I'm getting. All right. Pertaining to the lungs, the hands, possibly even like the shoulder area. If you feel stress heavy on your shoulder, it could be from this. From holding so much within, trying to carry that burden where you actually need to free yourself from that energy. There's like this deep knowing that you're tapping into something that's, you know, higher than you, should I say. Anyway, let's get into it. All right, so Gemini, in your first house, we've got Jupiter that's retrograde in Gemini. All right, so it's been there since October the 9th. Jupiter will be retrograding in Gemini up until February 4th of 2025. All right, so you got a while to go here. Jupiter will be sextiling to Chiron, which is the asteroid of the wounded healer, on November 2nd. That's happening in your first house, all about self, your appearance, how you're interacting with other people, how you feel within yourself. All right, so Jupiter is meant for you to expand, and right now where it's retrograding, being at its detriment in your sign, Jupiter typically rules your house of relationships, so it's a heavy focus on you and how you can push out to be the best person that you can be. All right, now I'm seeing that happening here overall with all the healing you're doing. Cancer is your second house. This is your house of money, values, and possession. Right now you've got Mars in Cancer at its fall. Mars in Cancer is at its fall, and it's in a house in where it's not comfortable. Second house is ruled by Taurus. Mars being even in the house of Taurus is at its detriment. It's not working well for you at all. All right, Mars typically wants you to take action, and here it's asking you to really have a heavy focus on your values. All right, if it pertains to your finances, I can kind of see where you might be saving money with the Four of Pentacles being out here, being very structured in that area. Mars is going to move out in the beginning of November on the 3rd into your third house of communication. Now, this is your ruling house, but Mars being in this ruling house can cause you to overthink a lot. All right, so that could be like this energy here. Be careful with overthinking, oversharing. I would like try to be organized a little bit more so that you can understand how everything fits together. Cancer's energy, it is water, but it's sitting in the earth house. So where it is right now for you in its pre-shadow retrograde phase, it's like you're kind of like being tested right now pertaining to your values and how you can remain grounded overall with the way that Mars is in Cancer. It can cause lots of heavy arguments. Cancer always involves family. So this can be like issues pertaining to money with family issues, people's possessions. If you live with someone, you know, anything that's yours, you feel that it's valuable to you. It might be, you know, it can just bring in a heavy sense of arguing over money is what I see. All right, so Mars will then retrograde in Leo on December the 6th, which is going to be leading obviously into Sagittarius this season. But as of right now, it moving into the third house on November 3rd, it's like you're getting a sneak peek of where the actual retrograde is going to take place. I'm not sure at what degree it takes place in. I can check really quickly. It's going to happen at 6 degrees of Leo and 11 minutes while it goes retrograde. Back into Cancer, back into your second house. All right, so kind of get a grasp of the issues that's pertaining to your house of, your house of finances, and see how you can utilize this energy in your third house to really communicate some sort of truth. All right, so that way you can figure out how to become balanced overall within your energy and very grounded. It's giving me like saving your money and understanding how you can become more abundant by really focusing on just do your healing process for right now. Queen of Cups is here. All right, do the inner healing with your emotional state first. Try not to like do splurge spending and all that. All right, just to try to make yourself feel better about something. I don't know. Virgo's your fourth house. You've got Vesta in Virgo, which is the asteroid of spirituality. It speaks about sacrifice and devotion. Vesta's been here for a while now. All right, it's been in Virgo, which is a sign that speaks about being of service to other people. All right, being in the fourth house, it's like more so you're this divine feminine energy, whether you're masculine and or feminine, you have a lot of sacrificing and devoting towards other people and being more so in the energy of your comfort zone. All right, so if you embody these spiritual aspects about yourself and healing, then this is something that you can offer to other people. Vesta is going to be moving out of Virgo and into your fifth house, which is all about pleasure, love, and creativity and how to self-express. So you might find that you are interested in speaking about spirituality or something like this, pertaining to like a hobby, all right? And or involving children in what you do. I'm not sure. All right? But Vesta will be moving out into Libra on October 27th. We are currently right now on the 25th. So in the next 2 days, find a shift happening in your home environment, moving into your fifth house more so in what you find to be pleasurable. All right? This Vesta energy is like an inner spark. So that can be like something that you do creatively with the Ace of Wands. All right. Now, Scorpio is your... No, let's do Libra in your fifth house. All right. You've got Juno in Libra, which is the asteroid of marriage and partnerships. That is currently in the house of your happiness, your peace, and your contentment. Right? You might be partnering with somebody that brings out your happiness. Lilith in Libra, this is a very powerful feminine energy, whereas if you are doing anything creatively, you're going full blast with it. South Node is also in Libra, so if you have any like karmic challenges from the past, all right, and or a natural gift that you've been tapping into, this is where you're kind of getting a grasp of that and finding those that you want a partnership with. All right. Juno's moving out at the very beginning of the month as well, on November 3rd, into your sixth house. All right, so this is heavy Scorpio energy for you. Sixth house overall, pertaining to your house of health, hard work, how to be of service to other people, and your day-to-day routines. So Sun in Scorpio is here. Mercury in Scorpio is here. And then Juno is joining into Scorpio on November 3rd. All right, as Juno moves in, you're going to be having Mercury moving into Sagittarius on November 2nd into your 7th. So you'll see the Sun and Juno working hand in hand, pertaining to putting a spotlight on what partnerships and what you want to do pertaining to your day-to-day routines and those that you want to surround yourself with, it, you know, pertaining to like a workplace. This could be within co-workers, whatever it may be. All right. You have a new moon happening on November 1st as well in your sixth house. So the moon in Scorpio will last from, let's see when, the 31st of October up until November the 2nd, I want to say. November the 3rd. All right, so new moon in Scorpio energy will be from October 31st through the 3rd of November. Big deal. All right, so you'll have the sun there. You'll have Mercury there for a little bit with the new moon. And then you'll also have Juno stepping into Scorpio. Mercury will move out and move into Sagittarius, into your 7th. All right, Mercury moving into your 7th house. I don't know. It's your ruling planet. So you could find that whatever partnerships you're running into pertaining to work environments, you're signing contracts and things like that. All right. Sagittarius being your 7th house. This is where Venus is at this time in Sag. Mercury joining Venus. These are two personal planets that are closest to Earth here. So this is affecting you the most in your house of relationships. So it's kind of giving me like if you're in love with somebody, all right, it could be someone returning from the past. I'm not sure. But there's a heavy emphasis on you just focusing on your healing overall. All right, so be careful who you're partnered up with. You might be moving forward independently. I'm not sure. I'm not seeing a breakup here. I'm just overall seeing you doing a lot of healing from whatever the stress is coming from. All right. Now, Venus moves into Capricorn on November 11th, which is the 11/11 portal. Venus is out of bounds in Sagittarius from today's date, October 25th, all the way up until Venus moves into Capricorn. All right, so Venus is finances, valuables, pleasurables, relationships, beauty, and love. Venus typically rules over the 2nd and the 7th houses. All right, so for you, your 2nd house, again, being Cancer, where Mars is at its detriment there. Whatever is happening with your resources, unless you're working really, really, really hard to gain your resources and remain in control of it, then you might find that this actual out of bounds energy works well for you. All right. There's nothing pertaining to Venus being in retrograde right now. There's no review there. So allow yourself to be open to relationships at this time. Pallas is also in Sagittarius. All right. Pallas is the asteroid of wisdom and knowledge. So anything that you find to be interested in right now pertaining to where you're putting your mind state, just be sure that you're balanced overall. But this could be a great time for you to really focus on studying. I'm seeing this woman here sitting down reading a book. This could be a great way for you to try not to overspend and not go all crazy with your resources. If you're focusing on saving, pick up a book, sit down and read some shit, right? Stay focused. You might be looking into something pertaining to a legal contract that you need to really look into and read over. That would be a great thing to do, so you don't go getting yourself into no debt. All right, because getting into Capricorn energy, this is where you're having a big or had a big review pertaining to your 8th house of other people's resources, debt. Speaks about taxes. It is the house of sex, your deep emotional feelings overall, and where you're meant to face your fears. And this is what came out for you overall in the dice with Pluto's energy. All right, so it came out for Taurus in the 12th house and Pluto's energy focusing on your 8th house. So what we're looking at with this here is Pluto being in its ruling house. There's the deep transformation that's happening for you at a very significant level. Now, heavily for you because the 8th house has to do with religion, organized religion exactly. All right, and where you're meant to face your fears and dive deep into your emotional state, which we see you doing, pertaining to some sort of healing. Pluto bringing in that transformation, it could be something very spiritual for you. All right, because again, you have, where is it? Vesta, which is the asteroid of spirituality, sitting in your 4th house, pertaining to your water element. Again, you got Pluto in your 8th house, which is another water element house, and where it's tapping into some sort of inner healing. All right, so transformation energy is heavily for you up until the energy of November 19th. All right, by November 30th, Pallas will be moving out of your 7th house, which is all about the wisdom and the knowledge that you've been focusing in on while you're reading the books. It's going to be moving into the house of Capricorn, all right, for you, the 8th house. So you'll be having Ceres in Capricorn, which is the asteroid of parenting, nurturing, agriculture, and self-care. You'll be experiencing the energy of Pallas moving into Capricorn, and where you're going to be having wisdom and knowledge, all right, heavily about possibly even the occult, transformation energies in your life, and things that have a lot to do with like organized religion, something like this. All right, let me get rid of this for a second. So this is a big deal. You're going to have Venus in Capricorn on the 11/11 portal. You'll be having Pallas in Sagittarius up until the November 30th. That's going to join Venus by then, all right? And then you also have Pluto stepping out of Capricorn and into Aquarius, which is going to be your 9th house. This is where you will be transforming in the house of higher learning, spirituality, and foreign travels, pertaining to belief systems and your philosophies in life. The new moon happening in Scorpio for you in your 6th house. A week later, you're going to see a first quarter moon happen in Aquarius on November 9th. So this is fixed moon energy. Yesterday was the last quarter moon in Leo. All right. Which Leo being the energy of your 3rd house. It could have been where you were releasing something that no longer served you, pertaining to a specific communication that was meant to come through. All right. Could have been this energy overall, giving you a damn headache and a struggle. All right. Some sort of burden that was meant to be released. Last quarter moon energy asks you to adjust and to release. All right. So whatever Pluto is getting ready to do in your 9th house is going to be happening there for the next 20 years in your life. This is just the beginning of it. And it starts with your ideals and pertaining to spirituality for you. All right. Now, when that happens, again, November 19th. Let's move into your 10th house with Pisces. Saturn is retrograde in Pisces. Neptune is retrograde in Pisces. Neptune is the only planet that is working in its domicile at this time, working with the most strength. It is the planet of being a visionary. Pertaining to you, it happens to be with your career, your public image, your reputation, your professional aspirations. It is divine masculine energy. So this is going to be where the most energy for you is of significance. Why? Because Saturn is in its ruling house, the 10th house. It's in retrograde, and it will be going direct on November 15th. Whatever requires some sort of discipline, authority, structure pertaining to your career life, this is going to be long-term stability and heavy focus on what's happening with the transition in your life. Overall, it looks like heavily on spirituality, because Neptune rules over typically the 12th house. All right, so whatever is being structured around you with Saturn and Neptune working together, it's kind of giving you this idea of how to be more loving and compassionate and vulnerable with others, and possibly even bring in structure in a career that seems great for you, with you doing some sort of teaching or something about spirituality. That could be it. All right. So Saturn goes direct on November 15th. And on November 27th, you're going to see Saturn quintile to the energy of Uranus. Uranus is in Taurus, in your 12th house, what came out in your astro days here. All right. Pertaining to the house of spirituality. Pluto stepping in the middle of the month into your 9th house. This is going to be where it looks like Saturn in your 10th is going to sextile over to your 12th. Whatever you're doing in your 12th house, that's changing. Uranus in Taurus is at its fall. But Uranus is bringing revolutionary change to the house of your subconscious state, your imagination, and how you're meant to inspire other people. It is the house of the unknown. It speaks about heavily spirituality. And it does consist of overcoming issues when it pertains to illnesses and to imprisonment. All right. So that can be feeling like mentally imprisoned, physically bogged down. All right. Emotionally bogged down. But if you're a healer of the ages, this is what's to come for you. All right. Just get ready, because it's happening little by little. Pluto again. It will be for the next, let's just say, 20 years in the sign of Aquarius. Once it gets further in the degree and closest to Pisces, it will go into Pisces and retrograde back. But we won't see this happen for the longest, all right? It will be like years on out. I think it's going to be from 2024 up until 2043. We're going to see Pluto in Aquarius. And it will dip into your 10th house. So maybe this is a transformation that's happening for you. And where Pluto being in its domicile house in the 8th right now in Capricorn, where it's been for the past 16 years, you've been really learning how to transform your life, turn into spirituality for the next 20, so that way maybe in the next 20 years, whatever transforms your career, you could be doing spiritual work by then. Just saying. Don't say Jazz ain't tell you something, all right? Let's look at Aries in the 11th, all right? Aries is where the North Node is for you. You are looking for a specific community of people to surround yourself with that you feel are more so like your companions. You can network with these people. You can socialize with these people. You feel comfortable in doing what? Chiron is also in retrograde in Aries, where there's a review around your core wound healing. You want to socialize with people to tell them about your problems, about how you've healed, something like this. Feel like you're being called to be like a public speaker or some shit. All right, this is what this is. You are a healer of the ages. You have the strength and the vitality to do so. It gives you a sense of purpose in your life, is what I feel. All right. So what happens in Scorpio season, by the 15th of this month is going to be the full moon in Taurus, and that happens in your 12th house. So the transformation that's happening with Pluto in the 8th over to the full moon that happens to be right now for you, happening in the month of November in the 12th house, and where the sun is shining in your 6th, it's the 6th, the 8th, and the 12th houses that you have major challenges coming up for. Now, I'm going to go over the transits with you so that you understand what the beginning of the month is going to bring in. because it's a heavy, significant change overall that's getting ready to happen for the collective. This is going to be the major thing that happens for the month of November. One second. So Gemini. Hold on. Here we go. All right, so the major transits that are happening in the month of November, I'll go over them with you. There's a lot more happening other than this, but I'm going to give you the specific dates and what I felt was the most important. So in the beginning of the month, once again, we're going to see November 1st, new moon in Scorpio, 6th house energy for you. On the 2nd, we're going to see Mercury in Scorpio trine over to Mars in Cancer. So for you, this is going to be your 6th house trining to your 2nd house. Whatever it is that you're focused more so on in your house of work, with Mercury being at the very last degrees there, all right, trining over to what's happening with Mars in Cancer in your 2nd house. If you've been heavily focused on saving your money, really holding on to your money, finding something creative to do, being grounded and focused on, it could be like studies with Mercurian energy in Scorpio about occult energies. I don't know. Maybe this is something that you choose to do for work. Then this is actually working auspiciously for you. This is going to be a very up and down month with these major transits that I'm calling out, because they start off with trines in the beginning of the month with major changes happening in the first 3 days. New moon in Scorpio, Jupiter sextiling Chiron, Mercury stepping into Sagittarius. All right, for you, that's your 7th house. And Juno entering Scorpio with the sun in your 6th. This is all pertaining to work and relationships. Okay. Mars entering Leo for you in your 3rd house of communication, short travel, and associations to things in the media. All right. On the 3rd, we're going to see Mars in Cancer oppose Pluto in Capricorn, and Venus in Sagittarius oppose Jupiter in Gemini. These are going to be, for you specifically, your 3rd house and your, one second, is it your 3rd and your 9th? It's going to be your 1st and your 7th, and your 2nd and your 8th. So this opposition is going to be the house of self-opposing relationships, and your house of your finances opposing someone else's finances. It can definitely have a major hit on something ending and or transforming, with Pluto being at the very last degrees of Capricorn, and where this opposition is going to bring some sort of confrontation. All right, so Gemini, for you, this is a heavy deal pertaining to your resources and having to really save, thinking long term with you be moving forward independently on your own. Something about that. You could be a divine feminine energy. I don't know. All right, you're going to be really heavily focused on spirituality from here on out is what I can tell you. Now, other than that transit, so those are the trine happening at the beginning of the month on the 2nd. On the 3rd, you get the oppositions. But then you also have on the 3rd, later on in the evening, Venus in Sagittarius that's going to trine Chiron in Aries. All right, so Sagittarius being your 7th house, trining over to your 11th house. This is going to be where those that you're coming into a companionship with and a relationship with, it's given the energy of, let's just say, you're going to find that your friends are supporting you in whatever way and whatever you're going through and whatever changes are happening pertaining to that opposition that took place there. All right, so you're going to need some support. Let's just say it like that. All right. Now, that's the 3rd. Okay, now, on the 4th, you're going to see the sun in Scorpio in your 6th house, trine over to Saturn in Pisces, which, again, is going to be the energy of your 10th house. This is good, because this is pertaining to your work and your career. Something auspicious, positivity, good luck. Something's going to come out of this energy with the sun in Scorpio shining there. All right, pertaining to, it could be like you're still in great health. You feel good about yourself. You feel that you can be of service to other people. You feel that your direction and where you're going with your career is great. That happens on the 4th. All right. On the 6th of November, you've got Mercury in Sagittarius trining over to the energy of the North Node in Aries. All right, so once again, your 7th house trining over to the energy of your 11th house. These trines that are taking place, there's something supposed to be coming out of this energy for you. All right, so Chiron is supposed to be the energy of like a core wound healing. That's working hand in hand with the energy of your destiny. Your destiny is to be associating with other people pertaining to networking. And this Mercurian energy that's happening in Sagittarius is, again, bringing people together. This can be like a research project or something that you're partnering with and or contracted to that's working out for you well by November 6th. The Sun in Scorpio will oppose Uranus and Taurus again on November 16th, where we're on the day before that, we're going to see the Sun oppose the energy of the Moon with the full moon energy. All right, so those are opposing energies that we're looking at there. Okay, so heavy opposition from the 15th, the 16th, and even the 18th, where we're going to see Mercury in Sag opposing Jupiter in Gemini in your sign. So this will be the 1st and the 7th house in opposition. And then the Sun opposing Uranus and Taurus, which is creating major changes for you in your 6th and 12th houses, as well as the Sun in Scorpio opposing the full moon energy that's happening in your 12th house as well. All right, so the middle of the month, most significant for these confrontational energies pertaining to your 1st and your 7th and your 6th and your 12th. All right. In the beginning of the month, it would be more so about the money thing in opposition with Cancer and Capricorn. Okay. Now, let's take a look at the 18th, where we're going to see Mercury in Sagittarius oppose Jupiter in Gemini. Oh, we just said that. All right, so we'll do Mars and Leo trining over to the North Node in Aries. This here actually might work well for you. All right, because Mars being in Leo is going to give you a sense of, I don't want to say determination, but it is. All right, Mars wants to take action. Leo is brave enough and loyal enough and determined enough to go for it. North Node energy is in Aries, so it requires like heavy fire elements. All right, and Aries being the energy of your 11th house, you're going to keep going with whatever community of people you're surrounding yourself by. And if it pertains to the house of communication and where Mars is stepping in, remember, it will by then get ready to go retrograde. What day would it be? Or what degree would it be at during that time? I need to get into details because I feel like this is a very significant change within the next couple days after all of that opposing energy that you're going to see there. So Mars and Leo, let's look at the energy of the 24th of November real quick. I need to see what degree it's going to be at. Because it retrogrades on December 6th in Leo. So what did I say? The 24th of November. All right, so Mars in Leo will be at 5 degrees and 12 minutes. Let me look at the Sabian symbol for the 6th degree and where it's actually supposed to be going retrograde really soon. It's going to go retrograde at 6 degrees and something and head back down to 5. So this is a significant area. There's something that's going to be impacted here. All right, some sort of energy of like pertaining to values. And these values are going to be those that you're associating with and where your destiny is meant to take you. All right. It's kind of like if you've been looking from a past perspective of what the healing work is meant to bring in for you, you're going to be looking into the future and how you can communicate that out to your specific community of people. Something pertaining to your values. All right, and the energy of the personal growth that you've gone through here. Big deal. All right, let's get out of that. 26th. Was that what I just said? Okay, so Mars and Leo trining over to the North Node in Aries. Your 3rd house to your 11th. By the way, both of those houses, one of the houses are your ruling house. So intellectual pursuits more so. Speaking up, communication. All right. How to overcome difficulties and feeling defeated, that type of energy. You're helping people release themselves from this type of energy. Self-sabotaging ways, burdens, all right, conflict, just by being able to remain grounded, focus on saving money, being in a healing state and speaking one's truth and gaining the energy of a sense of power back, all right? Let's look at Sun in Sagittarius trining over to the North Node. This is going to be your 7th house. Trining over to your 11th house. So again, where we're going to see Mercury in Sagittarius, trining over to the North Node on the November 6th. We're going to see the Sun in Sagittarius, trine over to the North Node in Aries on November 26th. All right, so the beginning of the month, whatever Mercury in Sagittarius is doing for you in your 7th house, trining over to the North Node in your 11th, and that specific community of people that you're in partnership with. Now, when the Sun is shining in your house of partnerships, it's going to then trine again at the end of the month to the energy of the North Node. Sun in Sag will trine to Mars and Leo as well on the 27th. So whatever is happening, very, very difficult for you in the beginning of the month, by the end of the month, you're going to see why those changes took place. Because all the trines are going to take place exactly where they need to be. Specifically in fire energy. And in, it looks like earth signs are of significance as well in the beginning of the month. Yeah, heavy earth sign energy. The opposition for you, once again, it will happen from your 6th and your 12th and your 1st and your 7th, as well as your 8th and your 2nd. That's all beginning of the month energy. It will work out so much better for you by the end of the month. So stay in this energy all month. Focus on your healing. Focus on your saving. Be open to socializing your truths to other people, being loving and caring and passionate towards others. All right? Or compassionate, should I say. And understand that whatever difficulties that are happening, it's only so that you can release these heavy burdens. And remember to remain adaptable to all the changes that are happening. This never comes out. This is a heavy sign of mutable energy. So Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius. These are going to be for you your 1st house, your 4th house, your 7th house, and I'm pretty sure the most significant with Saturn going direct in your 10th house is going to be how this is all working out for you pertaining to your career. All right, let's get you guys a crystal. Whatever's transforming for you in your 8th house with Pluto being there, it's amazing. Before it steps into your house of spirituality. Because it's going to get you set up here for what's happening right now. With Uranus being in your 12th house. I'm looking at the Astro Dice, by the way. With Uranus being in your 12th house, it's a revolutionary change that's coming in. Uranus will step into your house. In your 1st house. Can't remember when. I want to say it's the end of 2025 and or moving into 2026. Which Uranus is a very transformative type of planet that brings in a sense of chaos, but it's only to, help you expect change overall, major changes. So if it pertains to the energy of your subconscious state, it's so that when you're ready to present yourself out, you present yourself out spiritually. That's why you're lining up this way. Just kind of have the balls to do it. It says your soul is calling to direct your energy in a very focused, purposeful manner. And it's because you're supposed to be the healer of the ages. All right? Be open to allowing someone step into your love life that could be a sense of guidance for you. Even if it's just a spiritual person. All right? Just saying. That might be coming through for you. Okay. 1 second. You've got citrine. Amazing stone. All right. So joyful expressiveness. Exuberance and happiness and letting go of any and all negativity. Down at the bottom of the deck, you got Numite. So you're going to be mastering self and achieving self-mastery. Recovering your sense of self. It's all about you right now. Jupiter wants you to expand. All right. And again, it's in retrograde. It's going to be there up until February 4th of 2025. So get ready. All right. What's this? Number 17 and 38. Interesting. November 17th. That's what I'm seeing. 3 and 8 is 11. 17. I'm seeing star card energy and justice. Air energy. You're an air sign too. I don't know what's going on with that. Take it as it resonates. Let's see. 17 with citrine. We're going to do for you your relationship message. Because you're going to see this opposition with you and your partner coming up here at the beginning of November. In our relationships, we work to build foundations of love and trust. And one way to do that is through simply spending time together, having fun. Do something with someone else, some activity you enjoy or that neither of you have tried before. That will make your hearts happy. Being adventurous can be fun, even if the experience doesn't turn out quite as you expected, and the rain insists on falling on your parade. Intend to find something funny and positive in whatever you do with others today, and joy will be your gift, magnified by the power of citrine spirit. Remember, your joy encourages and inspires others to let go of their sadness and cynicism. So don't hold back. Radiate happiness. What was in your fifth house again of happiness? This was where the South Node was. So you're having difficulty right now pertaining to your happiness, where you find pleasure and love, and where to be creative and self-expressive, and how to actually step into the energy of your peace. All right, and Juno being in Libra right now with the the asteroid of marriage and partnerships, it could be that this is where your heavy focus is. When Juno steps into Scorpio, you're going to be having to more so focus on the health and what that looks like pertaining to your relationships. All right. Let's look at the actual stone. Citrine is a stone that teaches how to create abundance by taking action from an enthusiastic, heart-based place. It helps us recognize the value in all that we have, teaching us gratitude and the lesson that true abundance is not about monetary worth. So where Mars is kind of like digging up your ass right now is so that you can understand that things are more so valuable when you are not so focused on spending it, but enjoying it and doing things that make a sense of why you have money. I guess that's, you know what I mean? Like, Gemini, I believe I told you back in Virgo season, you were doing a lot of, like, when Venus was back in Virgo, this is Venus in Virgo energy, this is why I'm bringing this up. You could have went through this moment of, I want to beautify my home, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to go out and have fun, as Venus was crossing over Libra. And then now that it's, you know, past Scorpio's energy and in Sagittarius, it's like you want love from your partner. You can't find that spending money and trying to like cover up what, you know, love looks like, because that's your second house energy. You want love, you want to feel valued, you want to feel that you have things that are luxurious, you want to feel that your possessions are yours, like that type of thing, right? So just take that into consideration. Let's look at New Mate. I feel like there's been an overall shift since back in the beginning of September. Now moving through October, it's like November is the mark, right? Focus on your saving, focus on your relationships, focus on your work. All right, New Mite. It says, evidence of progress can seem elusive at times, but when New Mite spirit appears, it is a sign that you might be underestimating how far you've come. Our minds are conditioned to pay attention to the negative and overlook all that is good in our lives, including the results of our efforts over time. You may not be receiving a big blue ribbon or a parade in your honor, but the conscious universe acknowledges and celebrates all the hard work that you've been mastering pertaining to your fears. Make peace with the part of yourself that tells you that whatever you do, it will never be enough. You are developing mastery, and there will be times when you feel as if your progress is slow and inadequate. But you are called now to acknowledge that you have indeed persevered, learned much, and not given up. Doing so will help you to stay the course rather than veer off track. Be gentle with yourself as you master the challenges you always seem to overcome somehow. You are getting better at this thing called life, at building healthy relationships and prosperity, and at knowing and loving yourself as much as the conscious universe does. Give yourself credit and keep practicing. We are all learning, and New Mite Spirit is here to tell you that the conscious universe is watching you and is so very proud of you. All right, so this crystal spirit meditation, it says New Mite feels sacred, carrying the vibration of the wise elder or teacher. When we are ready, this stone will assist us in diving down into the very depths of self in order to unearth and reclaim the lost or buried parts of us. It encourages us to embrace and integrate the neglected pieces of who we are, step into our power, and once again know ourselves as the perfect beings that we always have been. All right, you guys, I hope this all resonated with you. I'll be moving into the following sign. Follow me.